Pink Panther. This movie stars Steve Martin. What? I'm reviewing. Oh, Black Panther. Okay. Yeah, okay. Alright. Black Panther. This movie is directed by Ryan Coogler and stars Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan, and it follows the story of King T'Challa, I believe, Black Panther, who has just become king after his dad passed away, as we saw in the last Avengers, Captain Civil War, blah, blah, blah. And this sets up him being king of Wakanda, which is a very technically advanced, isolated African country, and he's become king. But of course, nothing's going to go swimmingly because someone challenges the throne, someone comes in, bang, there's your villain, Michael B. Jordan. And this movie had been very hyped up. From the get-go, we know this, I think. A lot of people talk about the cultural importance of this movie and what it has. I was not really focused on that. I was focused on the movie itself. And yes, I'm not saying like because I don't care about the black people or anything like that. I'm just saying I wanted to watch the movie, regardless of how many black people in it, white people in it. I don't care. Just watch the cool movie, and that's what I was there to see. So I'm not fussed about this overhyped, cultural important stuff. I'm focused on the movie itself, which was very good. Of course, no movie is flawless, and there were some flaws in this movie, but it was a very good movie. Now, obviously, Black Panther is a character that we've seen before, and he's a character that I honestly wasn't too pumped up to see, and I don't know whether he's a cool villain, cool superhero, should I say, but as a character himself, T'Challa is just not very exciting character to me, and that's why I wasn't as pumped I was going to see other Marvel movies, because I thought this movie was going to be okay, it's well done, but I'm going to get attached to it. And I did. I really enjoyed this film. I think it's really, really well made. Ryan Coogler continues to be a great young director. He's done Creed, he's done Fruitvale Station. I think this is a great, well-directed movie, of course. I think the acting is phenomenal, as well as Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan. You got a lot of cool, great actors in there as well. And I like them. I like the characters. I think they had very good side characters that gave a shit about, honestly. And I think, again, I liked seeing Chadwick Boseman on screen as Black Panther, and I actually came around to him as King T'Challa, but I don't think I was excited to see him as I wanted to be. I think he's a very vanilla character. He's very plain. I just don't get too much excitement out of his character, and you get to see a bit more of that, which I liked, but not too much. He's not as exciting outside of his superhero-ness as other people are. Saying that, the villain, Michael B. Jordan, is phenomenal in this. I really liked his performance as Killmonger. He was an awesome villain. He was a true, meaningful character. Usually you got these villains, in Marvel they do it, and they just want to destroy the world, bring the world down, bring the world down. He is not necessarily doing that. He just wants to make his play and do his thing, and I like that. And yes, he does it with some morally wrong things by killing innocent people and just doing what he wants, but he wants something different to what other villains want. I really like that, and I really like Killmonger in this movie. We didn't see him for a while, which is a bit annoying in this film, I think, because you go and you start off hot with him, and then they give you like a 45-minute gap, and you're like, where is this dude? And then he comes back, and you're like, okay, here we go again. That's what I wanted to see more of, because I think there was a point I was like, when he just came back, I was like, we need more of him. And then he is in it for the rest of the movie and does a big part in the rest of the movie. But I'm like, I want to see more of him. As well as Claw, which they had, played by Andy Serkis. He's kind of the big connection with Vibranium to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which I really like. They didn't push through a connection. They kind of stood alone with the movie itself and goes, this is going to be its own movie. This is going to be something cool, and we're going to do it. And they did it, and I really enjoyed that. And again, this is something different. As I say, the Marvel Cinematic Universe connection, I don't think it had it, and it kind of stood alone and did its own thing, and that's what I really about. It made a connection, it made some, it made you feel and, think about what's actually happening other than just the superhero shit, which I really liked. I think it was a great story. I think it told a great story, and visually it was beautiful to look at. I mean, this movie is stunning. The action scenes are wicked. The Wakanda stuff is so beautiful. It's such a beautiful culture, and just seeing that on screen was awesome. And I think that was just major bonuses to this movie. And of course, as I said, no movie is flawless, and this movie has definitely some flaws. Again, could have used more Killmonger, definitely. I think the humor, as any Marvel movie is still in there. I think it worked at some points, didn't work at other points. I mean, that's always a factor for me of why I don't really like or love a Marvel movie is probably the humor, because they do just shove it down your throat very, very hard in Marvel, and that's something I've expressed my dismay for in the past. I mean, it works in some movies. I feel like there was a few scenes where they didn't need it, they still put it in, but that's what you kind of have to expect with Marvel. But I think, I don't know, I think maybe just a more exciting front man, King Shark. I mean, he's not supposed to be an exciting character, so I understand that, but you know, I think it could have been vamped up a little bit more, used a bit more of Killmonger, heavier down on the humour, and I could have really, really enjoyed this film. I think, it does have some negatives. I think they do fall into some Marvel things, and it does, at parts, go, okay, that's the same Marvel stuff we've seen, but not necessarily a bad thing. But saying that, it did stand alone, which I really, really enjoyed. And I think, when talking about this film, I had a really great time with this film. I had maybe my most enjoyment watching a Marvel villain in Killmonger. I thought he was a really good villain. I think this movie hyped up a lot of stuff, and I think I can understand why people don't necessarily love it as much as other people, because it is overhyped. I think this is a good movie. I think you will like it, you will love it. It's depending on where you sit on that is where you're going to be able to sit in general. Are you going to love it? Are you going to like it? Are you going to sit somewhere in the middle, which is probably where I am right now. But I think there's definitely some flaws in this movie. There's also a lot of things they did really well. That's why I'm giving Black Panther a B+. As I said, guys, I had a great time with this film, and it was a hard one to rate, because at some points I was like, okay, I'm not necessarily loving this, but at some points I was like, okay, this is pretty good, and I was like, I don't want to negatively rate that and give it a B. I'm like, I think this is better than a B. But saying that, I think like a Thor Ragnarok, which I gave a B+, is much better, in my opinion, than this movie was. So I can see giving a B+. I don't think it's going to be one of the best movies of the year, but I don't think it's definitely not one of the best movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think there is better movies out there, but it is a very good movie nonetheless. Thank you guys for watching my review, and if you like this, you can comment below, let me thought of the review, or the movie itself. Of course, you can like, subscribe, but of course, have a good one.